You know, Betty White really is the greatest Golden Girl. Choosy parents choose Jif. He's so mean. He really is. Hey Ryan, are we out of partisan again? Welcome to Beer and Politics. We are again your hosts, Ryan, and this is a happy hour special. That means the preparation we've done for this topic is less than normal, but it's something that we think is important to discuss, and this should be a shorter video for you. So today we're going to be talking about the First Amendment. This is brought to us by way of Milo Yiannopoulos. You see, he is a British, gay, Jew, conservative, sometimes called a provocateur, who had speaking engagements across the United States, which were shut down basically by, we'll call them liberals for the time being, because they disagreed with what he had to say. The conservatives looked at this as his First Amendment rights being infringed upon, and they even called liberals hypocrites because they want their right to their First Amendment as well. And what this brings us to is that we believe they're using this First Amendment exercise reference incorrectly. So today we're going to talk about what the First Amendment is, what it isn't, when it should be used, and its purpose. And with that, Ryan's going to take over.
Thank you for that great introduction, Ryan.
You're welcome, my friend.
So a lot of people understand or misunderstand the First Amendment and what it is and what its purpose is and what it's there for. First of all, when we're talking about the Constitution, we're talking about the Bill of Rights. These are things, these are protections against the government. So if at any point it is not the government that is doing these things, it's not a First Amendment issue. So first of all, I'm going to read the text here of the First Amendment for you. It is, Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, or abridging the freedom of speech, or of the press, or the right of the people to peaceably assemble and to petition the government for a redress of grievances. Now, what this is specifically, the First Amendment, you look at these things, they talk about the clauses, we won't necessarily get into the clauses, but each of these parts, what they do is this is actually the checklist of the order of operations necessary to petition the government for change. First, no law respecting an establishment of religion. It means you're allowed to think whatever you want to think. Prohibiting the free exercise thereof means you can do whatever you want to do so long as you're not messing up with other people, because keep in mind, we all have the free exercise, or the free whatever. You're not allowed, the government cannot abridge the freedom of speech. This is the part people get caught up on. But again, it's so you can say the things that you want to say without oppression or criminalization from the government.
From the government.
From who?
The government.
Okay. They cannot abridge the freedom of the press, meaning you can say something and you can publish that thing. Then the right of the people to assemble. So after they've seen that, they can then assemble to gather to talk about this thing. And the ability to petition the government for a redress of grievances, meaning that after all of these things have been done, you can say to the government, we want you to change.
It's a roadmap.
It is exactly a roadmap, which I think is absolutely brilliant because nothing like this had existed before.
Right. It's a roadmap for changing the government.
Yes, and specifically what the government is not allowed to do, because the government is not allowed to prevent you from changing it, because it is a government of the people, by the people, and for the people. It is not a government of the government, by the government, and for the government.
And so the point here is that an everyday citizen cannot infringe your First Amendment right. That is not something an everyday citizen can do. It's only the government that can do that. So when I tell someone to shut the hell up, it's not infringing upon your First Amendment right. It's not me exercising mine either. It's me just being honest with you. So I can infringe upon it, sort of, in ways such as I could kidnap you. I could assault you. I could make a loud disturbance which shuts down whatever it is we're talking about. But those aren't First Amendment rights. Those are just common laws that I am now affecting you with.
Yes, you can break laws that affect that stop other people from practicing their rights or having their rights specifically, and that's kind of what that would lead to. If you commit a crime, basically a crime is when you deprive someone of their rights.
Correct.
And that's what we would be talking about here. Yes, the First Amendment is only related to the government. Facebook saying, I'm going to delete your comment. That is not the government stopping you from doing these things.
Telling your kids to shut their filthy little mouths.
that is not a First Amendment infringement.
Right.
All of these things must be from the government in order to fall under this category.
So I ask you to stop saying that. Stop referring to someone telling you to shut up for any reason whatsoever. Stop referring to it as a violation of your First Amendment right. Stop talking about their hypocrisy of that, because it doesn't exist and you sound stupid.
And by the way, this doesn't mean it's right or wrong for them to do that.
Correct.
I will say I actually firmly disagree with what happened to him in this circumstance. Whether or not I agree with him, I find what was done to be inappropriate.
Right. There's a difference between being a jerk and being the government infringing rights. Turns out.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very true. They can go hand in hand, but they are not one and the same.
Excuse me.
All right. I think we pretty much
agree.
tied what we need to tie up.
I agree. Cheers.
Cheers, my friend.
All right. As always, watch, subscribe, like, tell a friend.
Subscribe to Facebook. We got a new Facebook page. Like it up, share it up.
We're still working on a podcast. Hopefully we'll get that up soon. And remember, it's just beer and politics. Cheers.
Cheers.